Hello my beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are filming one of my favorite videos, our completed pages for the month of January 2025. Now this was probably the first month that I've had my updated, I suppose, collection of books. I've acquired a lot more this month, and I've also got a bunch of more supplies and Posca pens and glitter pens. So I feel like I've been able to achieve a lot more and do a lot more experimenting, which is great. I think I have completed a grand total of 15 pages for the month, and I have one whip as well. So we've just gone, it's just gone absolutely bananas. It's fantastic. So let's dive in. Notebook, you know, because we need that. Now I'm referring to my notebook with the pages that I have completed. So the first one, and by the way, just so you guys know, I'm now going live weekly. It will be for Australian time. It would be every Monday at 9 a.m, which means for majority of you in Europe and America, it's going to be Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Please check my community page for more details on different time zones and when exactly it will be for you. So I'd love for you to join me every week. I will also be doing jumping on doing different lives. I can't really have too many in the schedule planned because it does depend. I do need to work around on when I'm filming color alongs and coloring tutorials and videos, because I can't really do a live while I'm trying to film a color along. So I'll be jumping in between filming and just chatting, being on YouTube live stream, which is great, on the pages that I'm just coloring in myself. I also wanted to share with you a finalized buddy color that one of my lovely Instagram friends and I, Jessica Key, have completed. Now, this is my page over here, obviously. And over on the right here is Jess's page. I'll pop that up on the screen. I absolutely love Jess's page. The sky and the aurora and the way that the light of the aurora bleeds into the ocean is beautiful. She has done such an amazing job. I am wishing that I'd done my sky in a similar way. So I love our different interpretations. They've both come up so well. But Jess, this is a credit to you. Well done. I'm so super impressed. I'm looking forward to doing more buddy colors with you and a few more of my lovely followers in future. So thank you very much for that one, Jess. I will put Jess's Instagram handle down the bottom in the description if you would like to check out her Instagram. So thank you so much. First page that I have completed for January 2025 is in Rooms of Wonder, Johanna Basford. And this was my first Rooms of Wonder page, I believe. Yes, it was. Where is it? I was stoked with how it came out. Oh my gosh. I love this. This was after I went on an absolute Chris Cheng bender on YouTube, which is what I tend to do with her videos. I had a go at a stone background, and I'm really happy with it. If I bring it up, so the background is kind of just a blend of different greys and also the different leaf colors that I've brought out. So what did I use for this page? Yeah, it was obviously Prismacolor pencils, because that's the only pencils that I use. I've used a fair amount of grey, as you can see. I have used literally an Ohuhu glitter marker for the border and like a Posca marker, a lilac one, and then some white Signo for the little glowing butterfly and the water as well. Yeah, it's come up really well. I love it. I love the background. I was experimenting using different colors in leaves as well and having like different dappled effects. So not just doing leaves the same way. I really benefit from watching other people's tutorials, and I always come back super enriched after watching tutorials and looking at color alongs as well. So I feel like I need to do more of them. Oh, and the Posca as well was for these leaves and colouring over black lines too. And I was experimenting with copper, like a copper kind of colour. So, and I actually just copied. Behind me, I have two kind of copper, well, they are copper lampshades that look exactly like this, that hang over my kitchen. And so I just kind of copied the light that I could see. And with the water as well, so it looks really glowy, which is awesome. All this is on this page is just, I've coloured over a lot of the black lines with the white Signo and a white Posca pen, and I've just added in a little bit of light blue pencil. I think it was even powder blue. And I've just used the darkness of the wall colours just to offset the white of the paper, and it's kind of made it look really glowy. So I love that one. Let me show you what colours I used. If you're looking for the colour palette, of course I'm going to show you these. So again, with any of these, take a screenshot of anything that any pages that you like the colours for. Sometimes I don't necessarily record the exact combinations because I literally just play with it. Sometimes I do. So this is the first page. Now this sap green light, it's bled over from that alcohol marker, so it looks a bit iffy. So those are my leaves. So yeah, take a screenshot if you like. I'm certainly not precious about these, as I always say. And that specifically was the colour combination for the copper. So that's come out really well. You can see I've used a lot of greys and not much embellishments, which is surprising for me. So yeah, I reckon today's video might be a bit of a long one because there's 15 pages we're going through. So, oh my gosh, I'm super stoked. What else do I have to say about this page? Ooh, I was so happy with it and the different techniques. The second one we're going to be looking at is Small Victories. Now, this was my first completed page in Small Victories as well. I tried to use the same kind of technique on the birds, and oh, how dirty is that? I think that's from the previous page, yeah. Huh. That's all right, we can fix that up. I can maybe use some neo colors or something on that. Yeah, so I've used similar colors. This is a color along on the channel. If you are interested in coloring this lovely little bird page, we're adults, bird page. And I've used a few more Ohuhu glitter markers, which is cool. Yeah, it's come out really well. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I just kept the same pencils out, and wasn't too happy with the bird. But I think if I did the bird now, I think just because I'm learning at a rate of knots, if I did the bird now, I'd probably do it a bit differently. But that's okay. So these are the colours for that. Let me just check. Yeah, I think, yeah, that was only, take a screenshot of that if you like. So again, just bringing through I just wanted to, with that kind of like stone effect, and bringing through like darker around the edges and experimenting with different leaf combinations. I really like using like blue and green together. I think that was like Prussian green or Kelly green and like a bit of powder blue too, and more sparkles. Yeah, so that is a colour along on my channel if you are interested. My third one, and one of my most fun pages. Now this in my little notebook that I think I covered like 4 pages of record keeping. It's the first and the only 2 that I've done. Look at that. Ooh, I love it so much. It is so bright and vibrant. Now, I took inspiration from Karen from My Colourful Country Life, she has completed this page in a very similar colour palette, and she was road testing the Ohuhu glitter markers as well, and I knew that as soon as I saw that video or photo, I forget what it was, I think it was a reel and a photo on her Instagram, I just knew that I had to do the same thing. And oh my giddy aunt, I had so much fun with this page. I actually remember, because I started colouring, I swear I started colouring this page, I can vaguely remember New Year's Eve. I was sitting there because I think I started my January pages like late December for some reason. But I remember sitting here New Year's Eve, and it was like, it's like the first year in ages that we haven't done anything. We haven't gone to any parties or anything like that. And I literally just spent New Year's Eve colouring this. I can distinctly remember it. So this has come up so well. It's so bright and vibrant, and this was a great page for me to practice my blending and to practice getting the gradients smooth and even. And I feel like sometimes you just need a page where that's all you do. And sometimes, like, I was just in the mood for it too. I wasn't, because I'd just done a couple of Chris Cheng's style pages. I'm nowhere near as good as her. I'd just done a few Chris Cheng styles of pages where I use the background, and I wanted just to go back to some blending and burnishing, and I am super happy with this. Now I'm looking at, there's a couple of, like, this one's a bit of a harsh line, but I feel like I've gotten better as I'm moving along. And I think even on the camera, the lines come up a little bit more than they do as I'm looking at it to the naked eye. So as I look at it here in front of me, I can see it's quite, very happy with it. But when I look at it on camera, I'm like, ooh, but it's still come up really good. And I just love the glitter. So shiny. This is not a colour along on my channel because this was purely me experimenting. Look how shiny that is. And in terms of how it comes on the back of the page, there's not much. There's a bit of shadow. I would not call that bleed through. It's a shadow. You could easily cover that up. Quite easily. And the other side. Yeah. I'm super happy with this. So it's so bright and vibrant, and all my pages now, I do I do spray them with fixative to hopefully keep their lush colourfulness. So see how we go. So again, for this particular page, I have in my record keeping collection, I have actually identified the colour combinations for each leaf. So feel free to take a screenshot if there's any particular combinations that you like. So, and these are the different glitter markers from Ohuhu that I used as well. So 8 different combinations. And I just, hold that for a bit longer. 8 different combinations, and I really like this leaf 8. I love the greeny blue ones. They were beautiful. And I think my favorite one to color was leaf 2 and leaf 3. The oranges and the yellows are just, I mean, apart from the neon yellow, the oranges and the yellows are really creamy and they're really nice to smush together. So I think, where was I going with this? Yes, so in terms of how I chose my leaf placement, there was no, I didn't try and like this type of leaf is going to be this color. I tried just to place the colors evenly. So I've tried to, so with this red kind of strawberry looking combination up the top, I've tried to just evenly disperse it throughout the page. And so there's like potentially 5 to 6 of each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I've also tried to go like, okay, so on this page, this red leaf was massive, so I've tried to go a smaller one down here, and it really looks like strawberries. I love it. And then same with this yellow combination, this orange combination, it's big here, so I've tried to go to a small one. And so I've tried to just evenly disperse the colors around and try and, if there's a big leaf that is one color. I've tried to offset that with a smaller leaf just so that everything's balanced, because I didn't want one particular color to be favored, or one particular color combination to be favored as such, because I wanted it to look fairly balanced, and I'm quite happy with it. I love this one. It's come up so well. That was one of my favorite combinations of color, and this little one down here too in the corner. So this has got to be one of my favorite pages for the month. I mean, there's a lot of them that I like. So yeah, I just had an absolute bonzer of a month. It was great. The next one I have completed is Wondermorphia. Now, I've only done one Kirby page this month, which I don't really have. In terms of my favourite authors, I don't have a consistent favourite. I mean, if I would say Layla Julie is one of the ones that is a consistent favourite of mine. It just depends on what I'm in the mood for, really. By the way, that blood blister, I was pruning outside yesterday and I accidentally squished my finger in between something. So yeah, it really hurt. So I have completed this giraffe page, and I can probably take this plastic film out now because it's... So what have I done here? A few different mediums, which was great. So Prismacolor. First, though, based in alcohol marker. So the clouds are a light purple, and then the giraffes are yellow, which if I had have done my research and just checked, I would have remembered that giraffes aren't actually yellow. It's more like cartoon giraffes are. And I think in my head I had, because I used to have like the Duplo Lego as a kid, and I had some giraffes and they were bright yellow. So I think I've just remembered that giraffes are bright yellow with brown spots, and I've just done that. So if I had my time again, though, I would have actually done them what the colour that they actually are. But I think the yellow looks pretty good. So the spots and the giraffes themselves, and the leaves on the flora, trees, islands, they are all based. So the only thing that wasn't based in alcohol markers was the tree trunks themselves on the baobab trees, and the sky, which is pan pastel, which this was the first time that I've used pan pastel, and I have felt like I was really happy and really confident with what I was doing. And to get that dappled cloud effect, I was really happy with that. Super happy with how it came out. It was a bit fiddly to get the pan pastel through all the little bits and like the gaps between the baobab trees. Interesting fact, baobab trees, or I think in Africa they're like baobab trees, they're a little bit different. Both of these trees, or this particular species of this tree, baobab trees, they are native to Africa and certain northern parts of Australia. And I think it has to do with, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think because Africa and Australia, like way back, used to be joined. And so, yeah, they're native to both Australia and Africa, and they're really cool. When we were in the Kimberley, or the Gib, they were everywhere, and I just fell in love with them. So I really wanted to do this page because of those trees, and I'm really happy with the way that it's come out. Now, so after the alcohol markers, I've then used Prismacolor pencils over the top, and I have used an ivory Posca pen to cover up some of the black lines of the clouds. And I really like the way that it's come out. And as you can see on the back, this is what happens when you use alcohol markers. So, and I was quite happy to sacrifice that page, because that's not a colouring page. It's a can you find the artifacts page, as you can see. And I'm never interested in finding the thing in these books. It's, if anything, they're in the way because I have to colour them, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to colour them. So, yeah, just so you know, that's what happens when you base with alcohol markers, so just keep that in mind. I do have on my channel, I have a video on how to use alcohol markers. Well, it's just one example of how you can use them. There are multiple ways you can use them. So, and I've used a different types of techniques to actually color different elements. So I've mainly used shading opposed to like shading and layering, opposed to my traditional, like the way that I did it in Magical Jungle, which is blending and like burnishing. I've done it differently here just because I wanted different effects. And the giraffes were actually super, super yellow when I put the marker down, because my marker came up very, so on my swatch sheet, I thought that they were going to look this color, like this creamy color. However, they came out like Simpsons yellow almost. And I was like, oh no, what have I done? So I actually think I used that sand and cream pencils to, what's the opposite of saturate? Just to really bring that saturation down and to make them look more of a creamy yellow opposed to like bright Simpsons yellow. My heart sunk quite a bit when I was doing that. So I really enjoyed that page. I haven't used any gel pen on this page, so because it's all just really sharp black pencil for all the birds and stuff. So this is what I have used. So lavender ohuhu marker, and then this is what I've laid it with. Same with the giraffe. Yeah, you can see it has like Simpsons yellow. I was like, oh no. And then you can see all the different shades that I've used to try and get the effect that I've wanted to. And then I didn't actually write down brown alcohol marker I used, but I certainly used one because I've just gone in and shaded with these two. And then the foliage as well. It's got that green grey, which that's come out really well. I love that. And the pan pastels that I've used is white, dairy lied yellow. Dairy lied? I hope I'm saying that right. And then red iron oxide. The dairy lied yellow is the main one you can see. And to get these little darker clouds, I've used the red iron oxide to darken and make it a little bit more orange, and then the white to lighten everything up. So yeah, I remember doing a lot of mixing and things like that. I felt like a mad scientist when I was mixing all my pan pastels just to try and get that effect. So yeah, super happy with that page in the end. And yeah, I haven't used any black gel pen or Signa or anything like that. I've literally just used a really sharp black pencil for the little bibbida bubbities, the what do you call these, little vines or something, and just to accentuate those birds. So because I was thinking like it's a sunset, and often, you know, there might be a lot of shadows on certain things. So yeah, happy with that one. So that's my 5th one. Now, my 6th page. Ooh, hang on. Let me go and get my colour palette cards. I forgot. Okay, so page number 6 in Magical Worlds was about the time that my colour cube arrived. And so I set myself a challenge. I picked one out of the box at random, and it was this one. I was like, what am I going to do? So let's go through. Yeah, so this is when my colour palette box arrived, and so I've started playing with them. So, not that one. This is the first page that I did in Magical Worlds 2. How good. This is not a colour along on my channel, unfortunately. I wish I had done it because I had a lot of people that were asking. Yeah, going forward, I'm going to do a lot more. I think this month I've done about 3 or 4, but I think I'm going to film more because, yeah, I'm just going to. But I love the way that this has come out. So if you would like to, here is the colour palette. I love this. At first my heart sunk with the colours, but like, I love it. And my favourite things, I mean, I love the red flowers, but also the little grey ones. Oh, if I could do this page 50 times over the same way, I would. let's first, so Colour Cube palette number 165, so it's volume 1 if you have it. So as you can see, I've used a lot of greys, that kind of sandy brown, and these beautiful bright reds. And in the embellishments, I've got red Posca, black glitter, and a white Signo, or you could just use a white Posca pen, which is probably going to be, you probably won't have to do as many layers if you use a white Posca, or like an acrylic paint pen. So screenshot that if you want to look at the exact colors that I chose to match these. And I find too, because I did have a question, someone asked me, so what's the benefit of actually buying the cube opposed to just looking them up on the internet for free, which I thought, like, fantastic question. Yes, because that was my initial thought for so long. However, I find it so much easier to actually match my colors up when I've got them in front of me rather than just on the phone, because on the phone, like, there's blue light behind it. It's, you know, it's on the internet and it's just going to be a little bit different. So if I zoom you in just for, because I kind of want to show you. See, like, I can put the cards up to this red and I can see that that first one on the right is pretty much an exact match of that crimson red, which is that's what the name is anyway. And I can easily see that the Crimson Lake, Crimson, oh my God, red, and Scarlet Lake, they're all pretty much an exact match. And the same thing with the browns, the same thing. I can match them up, so that light umber, the beige, and the seashell pink is almost an exact match. They're a little bit different, but it's as close as I was going to get. And the same with the greys, with the slate greys and the cool greys and the warm greys and the blacks. So I find that if you've got a challenging colour palette, or any colour palette really, because it can get quite hard, it's easier to swatch out the pencils yourself and put the card up right next to it, because I found that doing it all on my phone, I would have to like flick back and forward between different Pinterest pages. So I don't have my pencils, which is ridiculous. I don't have them all swatch in a book out. I really need to do that. Maybe I'll do that in a live or something. I'm not quite sure. I'll figure it out, but I don't have them swatched. There is a picture on Pinterest I have saved that someone swatched them all, and they're in colour wheel order as well, which is how I actually store my pencils. So I was switching between that and then trying to go back to the colour palette picture and then trying to figure out like if my colour pencils matched, and I was trying to put my phone up to the paper, and it was always just such a really stressful process trying to pick my colours. So it's so much easier if you have the physical card. So that is why I think it's better to actually pay for, and mind you, a really good quality product. I do have a video up on the Colour Cube Volume 1 on my channel, and just so you know, I am not endorsed or sponsored or paid by Sarah Renee Clark in any way. I just love it so much that I'd put a video up and I just went bananas over it. So I would highly recommend getting these cards, because it will help you match the colours a little bit better, because there is a bit of an art to it and it does take time. So that's my little soapbox about that. So going back to this page, I told you this video would take forever. I think we're half an hour in. I'm not even halfway with with the pages that I've done. So I experimented with this page with blending a lot of greys, and so different hues of grey and some brown leaves, and also blending brown and grey and red and brown and red and grey. So I was super happy with how it came together. It's just, I love it. I love this page. It's so simple, and I've tried to do with this background style. I drew inspiration from Chris Cheng as well, because she does this a lot, where she'll kind of, in her Johanna Basford stuff, she'll bring the colours of the elements behind. So you can see behind the flowers, it's going to unfocus. You can see how there's red and black, because it kind of gives that, It kind of gives the look that there's more flowers behind it almost, and it just fills in those gaps a little bit because this was quite gappy. And so it just fills it in and makes the image pop out. And same with that brown at the bottom. It doesn't just abruptly end. It's like bringing the colour down. So I think it's a really cool technique. And then I've just done the butterflies or moths even with just some Signo. And I love actually applying white white Posca to flowers as well. It makes them look really shiny. Like it gives them that, yeah, just a really shiny effect. I like it. The red Posca for the tiny little flowers as well. And I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, there was one of the little hanging flowers that didn't have a like a stem that it was hanging from, so I drew one in. Because I wondered, like, was that just my book? Or was there like a printing error or is it, I don't know. Have any of you guys noticed that's missing and you've had to draw it in? Have a look. Magical Worlds, have a look. If you haven't coloured it in and see if it's there. So, yeah, unfortunately, this was not a colour along on my channel. Again, I'm very quickly realising how beneficial it is to have more tutorials and colour alongs up on my channel. I think sometimes the only time that I probably wouldn't do one is if I just need a break. B, if it's not really the right time to film either. Or C, if I actually just want to practice a technique before I teach it to you, or if I'm following someone else's colour along as well, which I am, as I think I said at the start of the video, I am looking at spending a lot more time doing people's art, like colour alongs, because I'm just learning so much. And I think I never want to forget the value of continuing to learn off people, because I am still learning. All right, the next one that I've done, which was also a colour palette challenge where I just picked it out of the box and went for it, was Small Victories. And it was this one. And I remember picking this out and immediately thinking, yep, I want to do a fish page. And so, which leads me to this page. Ever since I've had Small Victories, this was one of the pages that I've wanted to complete. The only regret I have is the way that I've done the water. I think instead of going dark to light, I would have gone inward. So I would have gone dark to light inward instead of up that way. I feel like that would have looked a bit better. But that's just in hindsight though. Often you don't know until you've done it. But there are many of these elements that I'm really happy with. I'm really happy with the fish. I especially love these. I love how we've got like one stripe that's sparkly. I love doing ocean pages especially, and I love applying gel pen to them. So this was actually quite fun. I think I knocked this over in, I reckon it was definitely in a day. And I think I can vaguely remember being unwell for this too. I think I was. Yeah. Okay. I think I can remember sitting here just being like, I just smashed through it. So let me show you okay, so screenshot this too. That goes without saying. I don't have to say. So again, I found it really hard to match this sky blue. I mean, I could have made it if I had layered my pencils. So this muted turquoise I think was the closest I could find, and this non-photo blue was the closest blue that I could actually match in the Prismacolors. The yellows and the oranges, the rest was easy. The rest was super easy. The yellow, I only think I had a couple of yellows that I could easily match. So I ended up, as you can see, just adding in a lime peel, because that was the closest to this darker one. Even though it's a bit more green, it was just the closest I could find. The oranges and the rust and the reds, super easy. But I think, the blues was challenging. So definitely the muted turquoise and the non-photo blue was easiest. And then I've just got white Signo, yellow Signo, and the rest were Ohuhu glitter markers. So this is color palette number 79. And what I probably should have done after looking at it because sometimes you can see in the actual picture there might be other colours. So like there's obviously white. There's a little bit of green as well. So I probably, looking at the page, I would have bought that in. So like that was, to me, is like Prussian green and dark green. I would have bought that in, but I'm still happy with it. Yeah, it's just not a colour palette that I would usually choose, but that's the whole point of these, isn't it? So that's that one. That's number 7. The next one is, yes, this is when we start getting really, this is when I start getting very excited. We're going back to Rooms of Wonder. And I think I did another random out of the box, which was this. And as soon as I saw this colour palette, I knew exactly what page I wanted to complete. I knew, whoops, sorry, I keep hitting my light with my hand. I knew exactly what page I wanted to do, which of course was the cake page. These beautiful cakes, these lovely, lovely, beautiful cakes. This was so fun. And yes, I was unwell because I remember colouring this in and having to just do it in like 10-minute stints. I remember, yeah, because I just had really, really bad energy. I had a cold as well. And often when I have colds, I find it really hard to sit up. Like for some reason, since I had COVID the very, very first time, like 4 years ago, 4 years ago, yeah. Every time I get a cold since, I just find it really hard to be vertical, like to sit in a chair is really hard. So I found with this, I kept coming back to it in small stints. Anyway, this was the colour palette I've chosen. You can see that I've added in purples and I've added in the gold and I've added in some reds as well. But there's purple here. There's quite a lot of purple here. And when you look at the actual text on the little candies, they're like dark pink reddy colour. So, you know, I feel like I was being fairly true to it. And oh my God, this was so fun to colour. As much as I was like crook as a dog, this was just so fun to do. I mean, lordy. I used pan pastel for the background. So that is a blend of a few different colours. And I wanted to go for a bit of a dappled effect. So kind of, you know, if you would look at a painting, say from the 1900s or something in that era, and it's all dappled pastel, it's kind of what I was thinking of. There's a couple of flaws on the paper, which I don't know what happened there. And I find that's with pan pastel as well. If there are any flaws or errors or little nicks that you've done on the paper, the pastel's going to bring that up, and it did that on this page as well. Like for some reason I've got thumbprints all over it, and maybe I've had a bit of extra oil on my hands and I didn't know, but it's really highlighted to me that I need to keep my hands really clean, because I thought I did. But so one of the things about this page that I think really stands it out is the use of the white to cover the black lines, especially for the glass jars. Now I spent a lot of time watching a tutorial from My Colourful Country Life. Karen has a colour along of this on her channel. So I spent a lot of time just seeing how she's done certain things, because there was many elements that I haven't done before and I certainly didn't know how to attack it. So she was super helpful. This gold combination I've used a few times now. It's like a pale gold, and I really like it. It's come up so well. And I've used a bit of gold jelly roll, I think, on a few of the elements, just to shine it a little bit, but super happy with how it came out. And I'll show you so that was not a colour along either. The next page that I show you will be. So I've used so many colours on this page. So you can see all the different types of yellows, the processed reds and all that. So you can screenshot that, and then that. So this was, well, I've technically, now looking at it, if I actually read what I wrote, I've treated it as a double page. because I've brought the same colours along. Same with the pan pastels. So this page, I should really hold it like this. This page here is a colour along up on my channel. It's my first, colouring tutorial. So as you know, if you've seen some of my recent videos, I have two different types of colour alongs now. I have the colour alongs, which is where I put music on, and I'm just in the background and I'm showing you the pencil that I'm using and I'm holding it up like this. That's like a more traditional way. And my colouring tutorials is where I'm colouring the full page with you, but I'm talking you through every object. And so we might be sitting together for 6 hours. So they're longer form videos, but they're great if you want to actually know the why behind the what and the how behind the what. So in this colouring tutorial, we learnt how to do cakes and ribbons and how to cuddle. We're learning how to cuddle today. How to colour gold metal cake stands. So as you can see, they're not metallic, it's pencil. How shiny metallic do they look though? Hey, they look cool. The pan pastel didn't come up as well as it did on this page. I tried to dapple it, but I think I just smushed everything a bit too much, and it looks good. Like, it looks okay on paper, but I think on camera it looks a bit dirty, but that's all right. It is what it is. There's probably a benefit to not having like perfect pages all the time, because that's reality, right? Isn't it? Even like, look at this. I don't know what that is. I have no idea where it came from, but the pan pastels just brought it up, and all these thumbprints, I don't know why, but it's there. So this double page spread was really great for learning a lot of new techniques with white and so many other things. So again, if you are interested in the colour palette, did I write down? I don't think I wrote down what pan pastels I used, which is silly. Anyway. The next page that I've done was a colour along for my colourful country life, and I have been meaning to do more of them because I learned so, as I've been saying, I'm just sitting on my legs. I've learnt so much from colour alongs, and that was in Magical World. So I'm going to bring that up and I'll show you. Now that is a colour along available on Karen's channel. That is this page. And I think she just posted another photo on Instagram where she's taken the exact colour palette from this and transferred it over to here. So I will be doing that eventually. I'll be using this, I'll do everything the same and just bring it over. So the border is exactly the same. It's just the middle elements, but I loved doing, this was so fun. I haven't watched many colour alongs, but this is my favourite that I have and the best to participate in. So I find, because with me, following colour alongs is super hard. I find it really hard to focus and I get lost very quickly. So I found for me, the best thing to do is just to watch a section. Say if you just watch a couple of layers or something and then pause it and then catch up. And then watch again, pause it, catch up. Because if you're trying to follow along in live time, you'll be like, oh my God. And like, because you'll feel like, and I certainly felt like this, I kind of would just race. And I know that with my colour alongs that I film, I'll speed them up just a teeny little bit, like 1.4 or something. Just so that you can fit all the content in, because pages like this can take 10 hours to actually complete. So yeah, they're kind of sped up a little bit. So that's just my tip, that if you're struggling to follow colour alongs, just watch a section and then catch up. Watch a section, catch up. Yeah, so this was so fun. I know I'm just seeing like a little smudgy that I did, but that was my hands, because we used so much gel pen. It was the best, like on these things here, and then I've used a hoo-hoo marker here, and all this was gel pen, and I love using gel pen. So fun, so fun. This was just, I had so much fun with this page. So thank you. I don't know, Karen, if you watch my videos, but thank you so much for doing this colour along. It was so good, and yeah, I just love like the different combinations with the sandcastle, if you will. and the sand. And the border here, I think Karen uses KD paints design, like KD paints designed by Karen or something like that. I've just used an Ohuhu glitter marker. And so in my book, I like to write down what was a color along from someone else. So I've got the ocean theme, which was done layering, and the rest we've done blending as well. So they're all the different colors used. And you see, like, look at the embellishments and glitter, like, look how much we use. So I think Karen used the Jelly Roll glaze. I unfortunately don't have Jelly Roll glazes. I need to get some. So I just used whatever equivalent I could find. Super fun. Yeah. So, so fun. I had like an absolute whale of a time. It was great completing that page. And I learnt so much as well. Alrighty. Moving right along to page number 11 and 12. In Small Victories, so was this flower, or this double pager here, you call it a double pager. This side is a colouring tutorial up on my channel. It's about 6 hours. I didn't think that this would take me 6 hours, but it took me 6 hours. So we learn a lot of different blending techniques, and it's a combination of blending techniques and glitter and gel pens. And as soon as I saw this page, I knew that I wanted it to be purple. I think from memory. No, I'm pretty sure that was. And this was the color palette that we chose. The Prismacolor ranges of pinks and like the ready pinks as well is great. Purples, not so much, but I feel like we've done pretty good in matching them up. I'm pretty happy with it. I did bring, as you can see, just some orange in because even though it's not here, there's a little bit of this salmony orange like in the champagne or like the little rosé little glasses and stuff. So I brought those in. And then after I did that, my brain was just brain farting. So I just went ahead myself and coloured in all of this, and it's gel pen. And sometimes do you feel, I don't know if you find this, but sometimes I find that all I want to do is just do a gel pen page. And so this is perfect for that. And Small Victories has so many of those options where you can just go in and it's just a gel pen page, or like majority of it could be a gel pen page. That's why I love Small Victories. There is just something, it's just something for everyone. So I've tried to go like purple and then pink-ish. I love that one down the bottom. Yes, so this is a colour along up on my channel. If you are, colouring tutorial up on my channel if you are interested. And this is the colours that I have used. So as you can see, mostly purpley pinky. Lots of, Signo, Jelly Roll. So if you want to follow along, you can. It's also, this is good blending practice as well. So this is quite similar to the Magical Jungle page in terms of the blending in the gradient. So if you want to practice that, go and check out that video. It's up on my channel. Okay. The next one, I used another colour palette as well. This here. It's this beachy theme, which this reminds me of Australian beaches with that very like pinky ready sand, especially in WA as you get higher. The water is legit that colour and the sand is legit. It's amazing. I'm thinking of Monkey Maya, just down from the Monkey Maya resort. A lot of it's this. If you've been to Monkey Maya, you'll know exactly what I mean. So this was my first, sorry, I don't know why I'm tapping things. This was my first Millie page. Millie Marotta, Animal Adventures. Now, if you don't know already, Animal Adventures is a compilation book of her favourite illustrations from seas, forests and islands. So the book is massive. It's quite a thick colouring book, which is very generous. I love it. So this is my first Millie page. I had been wanting to start in Millie's books. I just hadn't had not enthusiasm, but I wasn't in a Millie mind frame. And now that I am, and I'm so glad I did, because I've had so many people that have commented and they're like, oh, can you do more colour alongs? Because they're not quite popular, because a lot of people have these books as well and they're just not quite sure what to do. So I thought, you know what? This is going to be a thing. So it's not that page. That page is next. Just trying to find it. Where are you? Here we go. I love this. Oh, I love it so much. Again, this is one of those ones that I did off camera and I wish that I had filmed it. It's because it was my first Millie page and I just wanted to see how I went with the paper. And I'm glad I did, because especially the blues, especially the indigo blue, I experienced a bit of chalkiness with some of my pencils. And I think at the start too, I hadn't planned to add these silver streaks in. I'm so glad I did. This is just giving me, great vibes. It's like the rainbow fish. If you remember that book as a kid, if you're in Australia. Oh, I'm sure it was elsewhere as well. But yeah, I really love the way that it's turned out. The colour palette, I feel, is pretty on point. I'm really happy with it. I feel like we've nailed it. Especially because the only thing, it was very easy to find these colours. This colour up here, this row, not so much. Same with this row, not so much. So the greens are a little bit different, but I'm happy with the rest. Well, I'm actually happy with the whole page, really. I'm happy with all of it. So this particular page is what has sparked my interest in doing more colour alongs and tutorials in Millie Marotta's books. And yeah, I've had a lot of people ask for, this is so shimmery, look at that. Just had a lot of people ask for tutorials. So they are on their way, I promise you. And these are the colours that I used. So for the water, as you can see, I should explain it with the water. Every individual water strand, if you will, is different. Well, there's two different types, because you can see some end with like the grey-green light and some end with like a powder blue, and the indigo blues at the start and the cobalt blues. So I've just changed it so that it's just a bit of interest on the page. So yeah, these are the blues. So it's the same combination. It's just that some have started with indigo blue, some have started with cobalt turquoise, but I've just used, it's the same. And then some has ended with grey-green light. So combination number 1 is there to there. Combination number 2 is there to like there or something of similar effect. So I don't think I didn't write down the exact combinations that I used for certain elements, but I have started using my French greys, because the French greys, to me, they're more brown than grey, but they are so versatile and I wish I had used them sooner. And I've used, an emerald green and a white Posca, and did I even... It's the funny thing. Oh no, here we go. Here's a continuation of it. I've used a fair amount of jelly rolls and 3 Ohuhu glitter markers as well. and some Signo ones too. Just keep in mind that the Signo glitters are quite watery when it comes to the actual gel. It's the glitter that really brings out the colour. So yeah, that was my first one. And I kind of knew that I wanted to do the salmon-y colour, because at first I was like, it's an ocean, but the more I looked at it, the more I was like, hang on, this is salmon swimming upstream. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I like it. Which leads me to the next one, which is in Millie's as well. That was the page that you briefly saw before. Through the book, this lovely cute chameleon page. They're so cute. I love them. This is a colouring tutorial up on my channel if you are interested. So what we do is the tutorial is us firstly completing this half, and because it's symmetrical, we then go and do the second half off camera because it is the same. And then we come back and we do all the gel work and the embellishments together. So if you are interested in learning how to do this page, this is up on my channel. I enjoyed this page purely, again, because of the purple combinations, but also because using different color combinations like chartreuse and the yellow chartreuse, and using different color combinations, it is not just the one, like, so we're blending kind of green and yellow together. And I've just used Posca pen for the little scale, little dots, if you will. And yeah, I really like the way that all, like, these flowers have come out. I've used a similar style, like the red flowers in the Johanna Basford page, so I've made them shiny. And I do have the colour combinations here. So I've got, in this book, I've got the colour list. Yeah, so the colour list is there. And then I've actually washi taped the different things because it was a tutorial. I wanted to have it planned out before, so that as I was teaching, I wasn't like figuring out. So, and I've started doing that too. I've started actually picking the colours, but then making the colour combinations and referring back to them. So I think we're gonna see more of these loose leaf pages in this notebook, I think. Okay, so that's page number 14. Moving on to completed page number 15, which is in the same book as my current whip. So Floribunda gear. Let me just get this for you. Zoom out a little bit because the books are bigger. Floribunda gear. So again, this was a book that I haven't touched because it's so pretty on its own. I was scared to touch it. But again, colouring books are sitting on the shelf. That's not what they're for. We're supposed to dive in. So we started in January and we've started with some hellebores. This is a colour along up on my channel if you are interested. So a colour along. So it's just got music in the background. So I do 2 different types. I'm just saying that over again so we all kind of remember that I've got 2 different types of tutorials. So if you're interested in colouring this, that is up on my channel. This was a nice simple one to do. I was going to do background like a Chris Cheng kind of style, but I decided to leave it because I'm really happy with the way that the ivory just makes everything pop. So I'm going to leave it. And I think it's going to be quite similar for the rest of the book, which this particular book, we are going to make this a full book colour along. Now, it might take us, because each page is sorted into months, Floribunda year, so it's fairly obvious. So we might be colouring, it might take us a couple of years to do this. We'll see, but I'm going to turn this book into a full book colour along, bar the next page that you're about to see, because I was halfway through it when I had the idea from a subscriber of mine to turn this into a full colour along book. And because when I posted this one, I had so many people say that they was so glad that there was a colour along available, because they're not out there a lot, or they were having trouble finding colour alongs on YouTube. And many people have been asking for tutorials because of the way the illustrations are. And so I'm all for that. So yes, Floribunda Year will be a full book colour along, like a project book, and I will chip away at it every month, and I've got some pages planned for it already. So just so you know, keep your eyes peeled. We will be doing this book together, and I will also teach you how to do, because I have her other two books, The Walk in the Woods and The Beautiful Planet. So I'll teach you some stuff in that as well. So this was the colour palette for that. Nice and simple. Lots of purples. And especially that orchid. Now that orchid you can't buy, it doesn't come in the sets. So you got to buy that open stock. So just keep that in mind. So that is all my completed pages for January, and that took me an hour to go through, and I was probably chatting a little bit too much, but there we go. My current whip is on the very next page, which is also hellebores, which is this. And I know every time I open it, I'm like, like, I just love the way that it's coming out. I'm not perfect, I will say that. There are, for example, like, how nice does that white look and these purples? But when I get to this one, I'm like, no. So I have some discrepancies in this. However, it's fine. So this is my current whip. I've nearly finished it. I could probably finish it within the next, like, maybe if I had a real good crack today, I could finish it, and this evening, because I do want to start a tutorial in this book, or I actually think it's going to be a colour along, because I will be here and there'll be other people in my house, so I can't really do a tutorial just yet. So I think we will be doing a tutorial out of either the February nameplate page for the month, or like it might be this one. And I've already been researching colours that I want to do for the primroses and the colt's foot and the daisies as well. So we will, once I finish this, I will most likely, don't quote me on it, I might change my mind depending, because I don't know how the day is going to unfold. I would like to get this done today, and then I would put it towards my February completed pages. And then I would like to film on the weekend. I just don't know if I'm gonna all of a sudden like not have time. Like, we just don't know how a day is gonna go. So that's just that's what I would like to do, but we'll see what actually happens. I haven't got the colours written down for these yet. That will be showcased in my February completed pages. But I'm loving how this is turning out, because I love these books, and you would have heard me say this a lot, because it's like a botanical companion book. So at the back, you have all your names. So I'm learning all my flowers, which is great, because I love flowers. And I've just seen that page, that's amazing. Ornamental onion, peony. I love peonies. Peonies are my favourite flowers. I actually have peonies tattooed on my arms, or my arm. And I think, one of the reasons why I love this, the other reasons why I love this book so much is because, I have a massive arm tattoo that is it's in this style. So I feel like I was tattooing Layla on myself before I even realised. This is going to be super fun. We are all going to learn. Oh, imagine this. So, like, imagine this page, and that's all vibrant, and you've got this beautiful ivory here. Yeah. Originally, because I've bought some Neocolor 2s, I just buy the open stock because it's cheaper that way, believe it or not. I was going to do the background in, like, apricot, but I'm not going to do that. Again, I keep having plans for backgrounds, and then I get to there, and I'm like, No, the ivory is just exquisite. That's the only word I can think of. For the colour and also for this book, it's exquisite. So, I'm not going to do backgrounds. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I just finished, there's also a colouring tutorial up on my channel if you're interested how to colour flowers. I think we do white. Yes, we do white and the purple flowers. So I can teach you how to colour white, which is a very handy skill to have. And I think there's some live footage as well. I went live yesterday. Might even go live this afternoon. We'll see. We'll see if I've got time. We'll see. So that is my whip at the moment. So that is my very successful and busy completed pages for January. When I say successful, I'm just really proud of myself that I got 15 done. Usually I'd be like 5 to 7, but I got 15 done, I think, because I just had such an influx of new books because it's been Christmas time and an influx of new equipment. So it's just been super fun to play around with all that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to the next month, and I've already started. I have filmed my February planning video if you're interested in watching that one, where I go through my plans for February and I've tabbed all my books and I go through that with you, and I've done like a colour palette challenge where I've pulled out at random 3 of these from the Colour Cube Volume 1 and I've applied those. So head to my channel and watch that video if you like. So just so you know too, for February, based on feedback that I had for my February video, we will be focusing colouring tutorials on Leela Julie in Floribunda year, as I've just said. And there's also a Kirby page that I have tagged as well that people are asking for a tutorial in that one. So I'll be focusing on those, filming those for you. And also some Millie as well. And I'll most likely do the Johanna Basford ones off camera. We'll see. But I plan to film a lot. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel because it helps my channel and the algorithm. So have a great day. I will see you very, very soon. Bye for now.